Hey guys, what's up? Fan here again, and today I'm bringing you guys another video commentary, and the topic of today's video will be the new Kaelthas. He is a very strong ranged assassin, and he's recently been, reworked and slightly changed and slightly nerfed. But he has overall proved to be pretty much the strongest ranged assassin pre-Tracer patch. And even after the Tracer patch, even after his supposed nerfs, he's still one of the strongest ranged assassins. I would put KT and Tracer as the two, like OP range assassins at the moment. And right now I see there's two pretty common builds in professional play, and I wanted to kind of show you guys those two builds and give you my thoughts on them. I'm going to put the builds in the video description below, so if you just want the builds, you can just go down there and check it out. If you want to hear my thoughts on the builds, then go ahead and continue watching the rest of the video. So this is going to be the first build I show you. And basically the first build is, it's very North American. Basically this is the build that most NA teams have been using. I see it sometimes in Europe, but it's mostly NA, at least for the past few tournaments. And I'm going to show you another build that Korea has been using, namely MVP Black, and we can kind of compare the two. So this is the North American build. At level 1 you want Felon Fusion. Felon Fusion is good at level 1 because 1, it increases your ability power by 4%, used to be 5. KT is very much a burst damage hero, so the little bit of increased ability power is actually quite nice, because it'll give you that extra bit of burst. Not to mention all of KT's damage, including his auto attack damage at level 16 from Sun King's Fury, it's magic damage, so everything pretty much gets amplified by ability power. The healing for HP is also nice. It gives you a little bit of extra sustain in team fights, and it also makes you very good in lane, especially in 1 versus 1 cases. You got great sustain. Every 6 seconds you just DW something, and it's free poke, free heal. Just very, very hard to push a KT out of lane or duel him 1 versus 1. Moving on, we have Netherwind at level 4. This is most important because it increases Gravity Lapse's range. So that's really the most important part about this kit. It's really good, especially when you have like a stun tank or something, because you can see this range. This is like extremely far range, right? You can reach the gate from the fountain. So if your tank is over here and you're all the way back here in the safe position and your tank is maybe somewhere around this well and they stun someone at the tower, you can follow up from a huge distance away. And that makes Netherwind really, really good. Also, the mana refund is pretty nice as well, but not as important. Level 7, you want Gravity Crush. Gravity Crush basically is a amplified damage for Kaelthas himself. It lasts 4 seconds after the Gravity Lapse hits, which is a long time to get your burst off. And it's 30%, so it's slightly better than 25. And Gravity Crush just synergizes very well with Netherwind. Once you take these two talents, basically you're aiming to like try and get as much damage, or like 100-0 someone by hitting them with a empowered stun usually, so DE, and then you'll toss the rest of your damage onto them. So we can try that on Arthurspot in a bit here. Level 13, the most common thing you get here is Pyromaniac. Pyromaniac basically just gives you more damage over time in the team fight, because every time your living bombs tick, your cooldowns are reduced by a second. So, it's just very nice. It makes your W and Q and E recharge faster, so your basic combo recharges faster when you have living bombs out. Not much to say about that. Of course, cooldown reduction like that is gonna make you have more damage over the course of a fight, because you're gonna use your basic skills more. Level 16, you're going to get Sun King's Fury. This is where he gets really bursty. Every auto attack does an absolute ton of damage. You can see here, each basic attack at level 20 does 375 bonus damage. And comparing to, comparing to just your abilities, you can see Living Bomb's explosion deals 303 damage, so it's more than like a Living Bomb explosion damage. So, each auto attack does a tremendous amount of damage, and it gets amplified by Gravity Crush, and it gets amplified by the ability power from Felon Fusion. So Sun King's Fury is what you want there. Level 20, I think all three of these options are viable. Arcane Power gives you more single target burst damage, usually. Rebirth gives you more AoE damage, and Master of Flames also gives you more AoE damage, but I think it's less reliable than Rebirth, and it kind of depends on your opponent's clumping. So all three are viable though. So yeah, I'm gonna personally pick Rebirth here. Generally, I like Rebirth and Arcane Power, these two the most, depending on which one I need, AoE damage or burst damage. So this is the full scale build for the North American build. And you can see, basically your general combo is going to be, you see someone, they can even be in minions, so you just DEQWR and then auto attack, and you can see how fast the Arthas bot exploded. Once he gets back with full HP, we will try that again. You can try it on the target dummy in the meantime, so you DEQWR. Oops. Oh, my Rebirth Phoenix, that's what happened. I was like, where's my Phoenix? And okay, so Arthas bot is back, so we'll try this one more time. So DEQWR, and then you just auto attack him, and you can see how much damage you do, right? You can basically 100-0 a tank. If anyone had done a sliver more damage to him, he would have been dead there. So that's basically the strength of this build, because you can be anywhere, and if that was a squishy, you know, anyone not a tank really, he would instantly be dead if you landed full combo on them. And the fact that you can land your full combo from this far away, almost a screen away, is what makes it so deadly, right? You can literally be this far away, and as long as your gravity lapse hits, you just throw all your stuff and he's dead. And that is the strength of this build. And yeah, I don't want to go too in depth into this. So this is the North American build that is most common right now. And I'm going to show you guys the Korean build that was recently seen by Sake of MVP Black, who is obviously a very good player, and that is a very strong team, the strongest team in the world. And yeah, I'm going to show you this other build right now. So let's reset talents here. Alright, so basically at level 1 for this build, what you want is Mana Addict, and you can also take Fel Infusion. It kind of depends on what you want, more defensive or more offensive. But in the game that he showed, he took Mana Addict. Mana Addict is better now. You only need 20 globes instead of 25. You should roughly be able to get this about like maybe 10 minutes into the game, I would say, if you're doing fairly decent. Which is not bad. 10 minutes into the game is not bad at all for basically a better stone skin. Level 4, what you take here is Mana Tap. So Mana Tap synergizes with Mana Addict because Mana Addict obviously increases your max mana, and Mana Tap increases, or it restores 4% of your max mana every time you use it. Not much to say about Mana Tap except that the primary benefit from Mana Tap is you never run out of mana, and the few games that I've tried this build, basically I never backed a single time with KT. You know, between getting health globes, your healer, and your well taps, you basically will never ever need to back, and that's actually pretty good. Like, people underestimate how good it is having to never back. If you think about it, if you back an average of what, 2, 3, 4 times a game, you could be using that time to do other stuff instead, right? You could be using that time to take a tower, to push a wave, to do merc camps. So just not being, you know, so having the time and not backing ever in a game, I think that's the biggest benefit of Mana Tap. Obviously, you're gonna have mana, never run out of fights, never run out of mana in fights as well. So that's basically Mana Tap. Level 7, what you go for is Sunfire Enchantment. Sunfire Enchantment, I think someone did the math on this. So when you do like a full combo with Gravity Crush versus Sunfire Enchantment does slightly less burst damage for your initial combo. However, you're gonna get more damage over time because Gravity Crush is on a 12-second cooldown. So once you throw it, you're not gonna be able to combo out for another 12 seconds until you have until you have Pyromaniac. For your Sunfire Enchantment, however, you can combo this out every 6 seconds, so it gives you more DPS over the course of a fight. Level 10, what he gets is also Phoenix. Phoenix, once again, just too good. Level 13, you can get any of these, but once again, I think Pyromaniac is the way to go, for the same reason as before, and Sun King's Fury at 16, same reason as before. So the latter half of the build is basically identical. You know, you can go Arcane Power for Burst. What he went was Rebirth, I believe, and this is yeah, the Korean build. So basically you have a good amount of sustain in the Mana Addict, and because the Mana Addict allows you to sustain longer over fights and not die, you're going to get more value out of Sunfire Enchantment because you can proc this more often than you can your Gravity Crush. So you know, over the course of like a long fight, you will output more damage with Sunfire Enchantment, and everything else is pretty much the same concept. And yeah, one really cool thing about Sunfire Enchantment too is you can chunk people really hard just by DWing them. So DW auto and then back away, and you chunk them super hard. And basically the full combo for this is the same thing. If you just want to burst one target, you're still going to want to DE. So DE, QWR, and then just burst them down. And you can see it does similar amounts of damage there. And yeah, it's the same combo for bursting a single target. Sometimes on KT, and this goes with both builds, if you have Pyromaniac and you don't think you need a 1.5 second stun, and you can just hit the enemy with your first gravity lapse, sometimes I will DW, EQ, and then W like another hero. Because this way, if you have W on two heroes and both of them are ticking, the Pyromaniac actually gives you both your cooldowns super fast. So, you know, I would DW, E, Q, W another hero, and you can see all my cooldowns are almost back up already, right? And yeah, so those are kind of just two really quick tips about playing KT. You have your single target burst damage combo, where you go DEQWR, DEQWR, and you just try and burst them. And if you think you don't need that, if you want to deal more damage over a longer fight, then sometimes I will, you know, I will EDWW on two different targets in order to get the Pyromaniac value. So that's really it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, leave them in the section below and I'll try and get back to you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube for future videos, which I plan on making about HOTS content. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.